Results elsewhere this evening. The two early games were played in Group E. Chelsea, we've just told you about. Sevilla 2 scored in injury time to beat Krasnodar. Dortmund comfortable winners against Club Brugge. 2 goals for Haaland once again, and a goal too for Sancho. Lazio beat Zenit by 3-1. Comfortable victory for Barcelona away at Dynamo Kiev, despite leaving 1 or 2 of their star players out. And Juventus, another late winner. Morata in injury time against Ferencváros, and both Juventus and Barcelona already through to the last 16. Manchester United are a point away, and Paris Saint-Germain, big win for them. Just the solitary goal in that game, a penalty for Neymar. We can hear from a man who scored 2 goals this evening, Bruno Fernandes. He's with Des Kelly. His English is as good as his football. Confirmation there that Manchester United are 3 points clear of the other 2 in that group. It is incredible actually how many of the players come here and speak really good English. You know, people always, footballers, they're all thick in this, but they're all multilingual.
Yeah, it's just the English ones.
Yeah. It could be, but it is impressive. Nevertheless, as was Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, he was majestic on the night. I think especially the first half, everything went through him, and we've been saying that for how long? Well, ever since he's landed on these shores, really. And the way he just manipulates the ball, he teases the opposition, the way he wants to just get the ball into the dangerous areas, and the way he creates, I mean, is phenomenal. And that's why his goal involvement, so the numbers are staggering, really. And he's a player, I'm sure, that Ollie must be sitting there and thinking, thank goodness we got him. Yeah. Because what he does is he sets other people alight. He makes sure other players start running, because it's like when a player that gets on the ball, you have to run as a striker, because you feel he could put it on a sixpence for you at any given time.
Yeah. Proper player, Paul.
Oh, he's brilliant, and the way he receives the ball, the way he can play people in, just a really clever football. And as he said, I used to love that position, waiting at the edge of the box.
Yeah, you used to do a lot of those, didn't you?
For a ball to come out, open, there's no defender, open, the other team had left nobody on the edge of the box, and what a shot, he won't hit a better one than that. It's a sensational goal, but as Rio said, he's the one who won the game from early on. He's the one player, not the one player, but he's the most creative player, and he will create all the chances. His stats, as we talk about, are unreal, really, and even here, little scrappy goals as well from the midfield. It all counts.
Covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, I think he works incredibly hard. I think also having him and Van der Beek, they pressed the ball really well out of position. I thought Cavani link-up play was really good. We saw coming short before that one. Thing is, he never really takes a day off, and a game off. Do you know what I mean? He's either, if he plays poorly, he gives it away.
Well, it's
sometimes.
funny, people talk about players getting tired in rotation, but the great players don't miss many.
Yeah,
games,
you're right. Yeah, you can, and that's a great thing. You know, you can rely on him. Ree spoke about leaders and stuff. He leads every time he plays. He just leads with the way he embraces the game. He's top drawer.
Yeah, good recruitment.
Yep, really good. And I think that's what you want in your team, and they could have got him maybe earlier. They're probably kicking themselves if they didn't, but he's here now, and you just have to sometimes sit back and just enjoy what he's producing. Yeah,
we talked at half-time, Paul, about the fact that because they've got 3-0 up, they'll probably be able to make a few changes, and so it proved to be. And, actually, it cost them a little bit because they managed to get back into the game, and there was a couple of nervous moments after that first goal. It was a strange goal, wasn't it? Because we thought De Gea was going to save it, but it was actually behind the line.
Yeah, he should save it, really, from that angle. It's with his left foot as well, bending it round the wall. David, I don't think he'd be too happy with that. But yeah, changes did change the game a little bit. Yeah. They did get a few chances, but you have to say in the first half, they had 3 or 4 really good chances as well, and with a better finishing, it could have been a little bit closer.
Well, let's go back to the first half, because I got a bit ahead of myself there on the scores. I missed a goal, obviously, the penalty for Marcus Rashford, both won, and then stuck away with some aplomb.
I mean, it's great to see that ball from Lindelof. The 2 centre-backs, they should be able to play that ball. Marcus is so good at running and behind, and just that awareness. Gary, gets across there. Just has such a great feel, Marcus, in these positions.
Some people would say that is that entirely honest and stuff, but that is part of the game, is winning fouls, isn't it?
It's clever. You can see that.
It's not diving, is it? People say that's diving if you get in the front and you make them foul you, but it's not. It's different.
It's just clever play. You see the fullback
do it,
flying in, and Marcus just holds his ground, and he sucked him in.
You see Salah do it, you see Kane do it, don't you? Lots of
but
players do
what
it.
impressed me most is that's Marcus at his best. That running off the shoulder, running behind teams is that's the way I love to see Marcus Rashford play football. When he's coming short, linking the play, but once he's laid it off and that aggressive running behind is unplayable. And he's a player that once he gets into that groove of doing that and that understanding with the likes of Bruno, maybe Van der Beek now if he comes in, that understand that these players can pass and will pass it forward, makes him a huge problem for defenders.
No, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but they got back into the game with a free kick that perhaps David De Gea should have saved. Torwich took it.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a
It's
really
free kick.
good free kick. You know, I mean,
He should say it.
let's
Well,
go.
well, it's around the corner of the box. Yeah. I think you asked him now if he came out and did an interview and asked him, I think he'd be disappointed with that.
Thing is, it goes over the, over the wall as well. I think it's difficult for him, Scholes. I mean,
It's a bad angle.
Oh, it's a please.
It's a bad angle with his left foot from that side. I think he should save it. What do you think, Rio?
Yeah, I think he'd be disappointed if he come out and spoke. I think he would.
It's just a bit odd that he's dived behind the line, isn't it, I suppose? That's the peculiarity of it. But anyway, despite that, the 3-goal lead was restored. Breakaway. Great play from Mason Greenwood, who looked pretty sharp in the second half. Not seen him for a while.
He looked very sharp. I think the pass is well forward in the number 10 slot. Van der Beek comes in there, and it just again showed that he's different in where he plays in different positions and can receive the ball. Facing the game, fantastic first-time ball. Mason with the appreciation of space and the other players, and a very, very composed finish from Dan James there, who all looked impressive when he came on too.
But that link-up play as well, that little set there, I love that, coming back. And I mean, Van der Beek was terrific, Cavani was terrific. Mason, I just think he's an amazing player. Really
He's got the world ahead of him.
Honestly, I just think he's really, really special.
Look at him, he's growing as well. Look, he's going to be a beast. Do you know what I mean? To go with the technique that he's got, his understanding of his spatial awareness, his technique, plays off both feet, and he's a devastating finisher.
He physically now looks stronger than he did than the last time we've seen him, doesn't he? He looks a big, strong, powerful lad, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger as well. And I think out of the 3 or 4 forwards that they have, he'll be the best finisher as well.
Does he excite you?
Yeah, definitely. And I want to go and watch training. That's the type of that's what he gets out of me. I want to go and see his technique, him lashing balls into the back of the net, and just see. Because we talk about people, remember Ruud van Nistelrooy. It excites you when you see finishers that finish aggressively, but with precision. I mean, and he's got that in abundance.
OK, well, don't go yet. Just wait till the end of the show before you head off to Manchester, because we've got plenty more to come this evening. We'll hear from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. To be 3 points clear in this group with those other 2 sides is a pretty good spot to be in.
I remember we did the first game, didn't we? And we were saying, it's a really difficult group to actually get out of, really. And that's why it was important that I think, obviously, the way they played against Basaksehir last time, the goals were terrible, the way they conceded. Yeah. But because they beat PSG and they beat Leipzig, won the week before, they were in a really good position. So obviously, beating Everton and now today, they're in a fabulous position in the hardest group in the Champions League.
There was a lot to enjoy in that first half, particularly, Paul, and there's some real creative play, imaginative football.
Yeah, really good stuff. The first 10-15 minutes was excellent. Van der Beek was instrumental in that, really, with his link-up play with Fernandes was really good. Some of that stuff is brilliant. The awareness of what's around him to play Cavani, and then the great ball into Marcus. We know, unfortunately, that was offside, but some of the play between them two, a little one-touch of Van der Beek there. It looks quite a simple pass, but it isn't. He's very aware of what Fernandes wants to do with the ball next. It nicely played into his path. Weight of pass was excellent. And they just looked dangerous, kept creating chances. I think Marcus had a really good bit of skill early on as well. And they looked like they were going to score goals.
Yeah. You were impressed with Van der Beek, weren't you?
Yeah, really, really was. And I think we've all been waiting to see him play. You spend £40 million on a player, you want to see him make more than just little cameos here and there. And obviously we've been impatient with that, but Ollie's had a reason for that. And today he justified why he's, been brought to the club, but why he's been thought of so highly in European football, because it's the intelligence. I think he's the one player in the team, in this squad, who's happy playing one touch, who's happy playing 2 touch, who's happy keeping it simple. And as Owen said earlier, he will sacrifice parts of his game for other people then to flourish. And I think that's an important factor. In any great team, you need players like that. And he's one player, I feel, who will actually make other players tick and perform better. And I think Bruno was probably the main person today that benefited from him being in this team.
Where do you think you play him? I know that this is against opposition where you perhaps only play with one holding player, but in the Premier League where does he play?
It's a good question. You have to say where he played tonight looks like his best position.
Yeah, he looks like he can do the defensive aspect as well. He was getting back.
I think he's good enough at that. I think he'll be willing to try and do that. But I think the quality, it won't be defensive quality he brings. The quality we bring is the link-up play between the forward players, which is important.
Okay, we've just got time to have a look at the next 6 games for Manchester United before we bid you farewell. Well, some tough ones coming up. Southampton going really well. PSG obviously important. Big spell for them.
Yeah, some really tough fixtures, but I think they found something. They're really good on the counter, but I think today shows they'll be able to play like this with Van der Beek in there, and when teams sit deep, they can pick them off.
Okay, Owen, thank you very much. Paul, thank you. Rio, see you tomorrow. Yep.